welcome back, Fire Addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today we're going to be doing some splitting. So I got about an hour right now before I have a meeting, and I finally got the stupid cottonwood logs out of my driveway. I did off camera because I'm sure you're tired of having me talk about the cottonwood logs. Like, they've been there for a few months now, and just anyway, they're gone. They're all bucked up. They're all down here in my yard. I didn't noodle them. I didn't chuck them up there. I just literally rolled them down the hill, and then they rolled down the hill, and then I moved them to here. I got back my splitter the other day. I borrowed it out. I got contacted from a friend of mine, and before I was gonna charge him because I don't like lending out equipment, especially something that I don't have the time or money to go into fixing this. If something went wrong, I mean, they're pretty much bulletproof, they're pretty much simple, but not everyone is inclined, and I'm not saying this friend is or is not mechanically inclined or not, but I let him borrow the timber champ before. But then, because it was like one that I could spare, I guess you say, but he was splitting it with, he was using it for firewood, and it's not really, in my opinion, not really made for, it's not a workhorse, it's not a gas powered like this is. So he contacted me the other day. He said that he had a bunch of rounds in his yard, and he wanted to know if I had a splitter that he could borrow or whatever, and I think he wanted to have me let him borrow for free. So I just, you know what, I can do that. So to have it for a few days, here's what you do. I told him how to use it, turn off the gas when you're moving it around or whatever. He took back roads to haul it home and here, and I got it back. And I was so nervous that it was going to be broken or whatever, but, and no offense to this friend at all, or to people who borrow things, but when I got it back, the gas tank was turned off like I told him to, and the gas tank was full. It was cleaned up with all the debris on it. He brought it back and covered it up with the tarp that I have, and he did a good job. And so I know that not all the time people, their friend, your family, your neighbor, when they borrow things, sometimes they bring it back as broken, as empty gas can, something's wrong with it, they tell you, or something like that. Like you hear horror stories of people borrowing a chainsaw from you, and they run straight gas through it, and then it's all seized up or burned up, and horror stories, right? So anyway, it goes to show you that sometimes it's good to loan things out and to trust people and not have ill will or ill thoughts, but just to be kind to one another and let things out if you trust them enough to not break it. Anyway, enough blabbering about that. I'm just gonna be splitting. That's all you're gonna be seeing. Just me here, just splitting. Just rock and roll splitting. What I'm gonna do right now is, yes, the transformer is in vertical mode. We got vertical today because these rounds, cottonwood rounds, are soaked, and they're just flipping heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chunk them up with the splitter in vertical mode, drill them over, jug them up in the force, set them aside, and then after that, then I'll go into horizontal mode and get those that I just chunked up and the rest of it. And so this is going to go under my newly revamped roof. This is going to be for rackwood. That's going to be for bundler wood. Obviously, it's almost full. And then the rest of it will go over yonder, over there, so it can dry. So that's the plan. I'm not going to get tried to splitting all of it. Definitely not going to be getting it all stacked. But at least get the process started. Like I said, I have an hour or so. So without further ado, let's get splitting. I got all those rounds chunked up, and maybe a lot of you are saying, Travis, why not just noodle them down, just take a chainsaw, noodle them? Well, it's not like they're that heavy that you can't manhandle them, roll them over to the splitter, split them. I have an idea for an episode comparing doing what I just did with the splitter versus noodling versus a metal wedge, and seeing which one is more efficient and faster. Because if you're gonna noodle, then you have to account for the time it takes to sharpen your chain. I'm just gonna stop there. If that's interesting to you, let me know, and I'll do an episode on that and give my thoughts. But I think that was time well spent. So everything now is chunked up enough where I can use the picaroon and or my strength to muscle them onto the splitter, split, and then toss right behind me to stack. I want to point out, I was thinking about this. If you saw the rounds, a lot of them had no bark on them. They're barkless, they're naked. I spent the time up in my driveway to debark them by hand. It wasn't too difficult because it's so slimy and so wet. It came off very easy. And if you watch my channel before, this cottonwood I want to stack or split and stack and sell naked. The stuff with bark on it, I'm gonna toss aside, put it in a bin to sell with bark, because I want the cottonwood is so wet. I want it to dry as fast as possible, and bark will only hinder that that process. So I was able to debark a lot of it up on the hill and then roll it down, so that this is already has no bark on it, which is great. Another thing I want to remark, I know a lot of people hate cottonwood, but at least with this cottonwood, maybe this tree or this load, a lot of it is straight grained, so it splits super easy and super fast. Therefore, a lot of it is really good for bundlewood. It's awesome. This stuff like right here with knots, I will split it down and then we'll go into rockwood, easy peasy, no problem. But a lot of this stuff, I believe most of it is sellable, and maybe like a handful, or maybe like one wheelbarrow worth will be unable to sell, and then I will put that in my own stove to burn, right? So I just want to point that out before I continue. I got like half an hour or so, not too long. And for Dan Atkins, I'm wearing blue, buddy. Wink. We sang, we cried, we smiled. It was tears of joy and happiness using the splitter one more time. So this was just splitting. That's all it was. Just some little bit of commentary. I had the chunks stacked up, which is nice. Be able to grab, split, and not have to like fight with the jumble mess of pile. I think it's worthwhile. Like other channels that you've seen, kind of stack and stage their rounds or chunks to split. I think that's worthwhile doing. So yeah, I didn't get a lot done, but I was able to throw. I know it looks like it's not time efficient, but having to throw the smaller splits in towards where I have the bundle wood stacked, and the bigger chunks are the ones that have knots in it in for the rack wood. So I'll stack that a little later, but we got a big pile to split here, and to be splitting again and stacking over yonder. Now the question is, do I split here because the chunks are all here? Do I split here and then have the wood being piled and ferry it over there? Or do I move the splitter over there, move the chunks over there, and split there? And then then the pile of wood is right at the stack. I don't know which would be more time effective. I think other channels have done this, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments of what I should do, because the remainder of the wood's gonna go there, because I want to get that sun from the west blasting in on that. That's gonna dry out that section quickly, or quicker, I guess you could say. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, life is too short to be a prick, so stay kind to one another. Rock and roll, be safe, keep cutting. Cheers.